Guys, thank you so much for tuning in.
Using concrete or old thick wood with
As long as you beat that, there's no going wrong. It's the key to success.
That's crazy.
But interesting topic that we can continue.
You have got to see this.
Hi guys, I'm Matt from Bali Exception, and today on the Yellow Couch podcast, we have Fais here with us, special guest, that's developing a very, very special and different development on the shoreline of Canggu area, exactly in Pantai Lima. You'll see through this podcast that it's super different from what's building right now today in Bali, and that it offers a real opportunity for you to invest in this amazing island that we all live in. So, Fais, how are you today?
Doing very good, thanks. Very good. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good.
So what gave you the, can you tell us a bit more of your project? What are you doing? Where it's at?
Right. So obviously right now we started construction in April of this year.
Yeah.
And it's obviously we're doing the foundations and retaining walls and stuff like that. Not very sexy stuff right now. But obviously whenever I go back to site and have a look, I just go and have a look at the sea views that we've got. Because we are so close to the sea. You can almost, hear it and smell it, really.
Nice.
So that's what's happening right now.
And I mean, that's the reason why people want to come to Bali, to have that sea view, right?
Exactly. Well, so this is the reason why I came to Bali as well. So I came to Bali quite some time ago. And then when whole COVID thing and stuff like that happened, I lived in London. And then obviously I was looking to somewhere else to go during COVID and still be able to live my life. And for that reason, I had a choice between Dubai and Bali.
Yeah.
And obviously I considered Dubai, but I chose Bali just because I feel that Bali is a lot more authentic. It has a lot more to offer in terms of health and fitness, in terms of lifestyle, and the quality of life as well, obviously.
And the culture, right?
Culture
Beautiful
goes without
culture.
saying. Culture goes without saying. So I'm originally from Asia myself, grew up in Europe, and obviously traveled a lot of places, a lot of South America. But I resonate with Asia more than I do with South America, for example.
Yeah.
Obviously, I am British, so I can't really give that away. But Bali just spoke to me, and that's how I ended up in Bali. And then obviously, lots of various things happened, and I was walking on the beach, and I wanted to make Bali my home, and just came across a piece of land, started asking people and stuff, and I mean, obviously, I couldn't afford it myself.
Okay.
Well, I couldn't afford all of it myself.
Okay.
So I ended up calling my friends, and I said, look, guys, do you want to live together and make Bali a home? Because we'd travel together with my friends and stuff. And without even asking any questions, I said yes.
Let's do it.
And that's how the whole story started about 2 years ago.
Okay, nice.
So,
and can you tell us a bit of what you guys are doing on this project?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we toyed around with various different concepts. And then in the end, we settled on the concept of a 5-star luxury resort or a hotel or residences, whatever you want to call them, right?
Yeah.
Residences, where obviously we will have the best of all the places we've been to, including the sea view.
Yeah.
And put it all together, basically. And that's how we ended up with Address Bali, obviously.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why, so basically, a 5-star resort and all that kind of stuff. But really the main thing is obviously the location. The quality we're focusing on 100%, right? Because we want to build something that's sustainable, right? We're using all local materials. And
nice.
We've got a radius of up to 500 kilometers from the site where we're sourcing every single material from. Yeah. So everything is local, bar some kitchen equipment, which obviously we wanted to give people the sense of luxury and quality. So that will be imported, obviously, like things like central air conditioning, for example, the design, the lighting. Obviously, we've got a rooftop pool. With an infinity, which overlooks obviously the ocean. We've got a high-end restaurant. I can't really say which restaurant or who.
That's a mystery now. That's a mystery, but you'll be amazed by what's coming up soon.
Yeah, so obviously one of the restaurants that we're in discussion with several restaurants, but it'll be something new, obviously, to Bali, if not Indonesia.
Okay, wow.
So that'll be the rooftop. Also, we've got obviously the lobby, the concierge service, the 24-hour concierge service. We'll have our own transport. We've got underground parking, obviously. We've also created, so as part of, whilst we were creating the concept, we also wanted somewhere outside of our house where we can relax, other than obviously just a rooftop pool and the bar and the restaurant. So we decided to create a river house. Because obviously, majority of all of the building is sea facing, basically.
Yeah.
But on the side of the building, we've got a river that comes from
very nice.
The beach onto the side of the property. So we were thinking, okay, should we have another residence over there, or what do we do? And we decided, and a lot of the places we've been to, they had like a clubhouse or something like this where people can go and relax and chill, but also, socialize with other people in a relaxed environment.
Yeah.
So what we decided to do was to create a river house.
Yeah.
So river house basically will have an infinity pool overlooking the river and the sea at the same time. It's got its own bar, it's got a little cafe, and a very nice place where people can just socialize and chill, co-work if they wanted to.
So let's say you're staying in the rooms and you can just literally go there to chill in the afternoon, read your book, meet people, smoke a cigar.
Absolutely, all of that. Or you can reserve the whole place for yourself if you wanted to have a birthday party, for example.
That's
right?
super cool.
And if you don't want to hold a birthday party in your home, and obviously if you want to invite people over, but you don't want them in your house, you can always invite them to the clubhouse, right? And you can reserve it all out. You can have birthday party, weddings, because obviously we were so close to the river and the beach, and it's an amazing place. Obviously, we've also got a sauna and a steam room, which overlooks the not sauna and a steam room, sauna and a cold plunge.
A cold plunge, which is a big thing here in Bali, the cold plunge.
Exactly.
Sure.
So we've got a built-in cold plunge and a sauna. You'll see those on the pictures, obviously, in the PDFs and the marketing material that we've created. We've also got, and we're going to operate obviously a gym as well, which is obviously, so I like to go to the gym myself. I don't know if you can tell or not. But obviously, there's a number of different gyms in Bali. There is Obsidian, there is Wanderlust, Nirvana, Bamboo Fitness in Uluwatu, and these are all amazing luxury gyms, right? And people like to go there. And one of the reasons why people come to Bali is for health and fitness, obviously. So we created a gym area in-house. So, somebody wakes up in the morning and they don't feel like going outside, or they don't feel like going somewhere else, and they don't want to see a lot of people in a class or whatever else.
They want their privacy, right?
Exactly. So they can just go downstairs, have a little workout or, a yoga session or whatever they want. And then actually feel refreshed, and then straight away go to the sauna, cold plunge, and then chill by the beach house.
Maybe have a nice breakfast at the very nice restaurant upstairs and go to the beach because it's literally a couple of meters from your house.
Absolutely. And also what the government are doing right now are building a walking path from the beach, which goes past our building right the way to the top. So
in terms of infrastructure, I mean, it's going to be really awesome. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, we don't call ourselves seafront because we are maybe 15, 20 meters away from the beach, but we are sea facing. And if we wanted to, we could call ourselves seafront, but obviously we're not in the business for that. We're in business of honesty, right? We are literally
transparency, which is super important.
Exactly, and that goes with the quality of the building. So from the start, we partnered with award-winning architects who've done the exterior of the building, SL Architects from Dubai. Then we partnered with an Indonesian interior designer and architect
Okay.
who has worked in San Francisco, LA for a long time and has come back home and settled in Jakarta.
Yeah.
So 𝐘𝐄𝐋𝐋𝐿
Okay.
is obviously the studio, and then
Wow.
so you know and
So
and
big
obviously-
team behind the project, right?
Absolutely, and every single obviously. So by the way, the exterior design of the building
Yeah.
has already won an award.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We didn't even know. So our architect submitted the design
Okay.
to obviously Indonesian 𝐂𝐻𝐶𝐄𝐋𝐈 Awards as Foundation, and they gave us the best multi-residence building in Indonesia,
Wow.
2024.
Okay. Wow.
So we haven't even done any construction yet. We're not even obviously ready yet, and
Yeah.
we've already won an award.
So given all this information on the design and everything, and the fact that it's really high-end residences, what would you say if you had to refer, or what would be your influence, let's say number one influence in terms of luxury hotels for the design and the kind of services that you will give?
So I mean, there's many, right?
Okay.
There's many influences. So there's three partners, and we have different backgrounds. We've got obviously finance background. Somebody else has got obviously construction background or services background and so on. So we've taken the best things that we find from different places,
Okay.
and we put in one place, right?
Okay.
That's obviously according to us, but it's up to the people obviously to judge that, right?
Yeah.
When obviously we finally open the hotel. But I'll give you an example, right? So I'm a big fan of W Hotel.
Okay.
Right, and the service from the W Hotel and how funky it is, and it attracts a crowd, that want to have fun and in a very relaxed way. So we like that, right? So obviously we'll incorporate the service element from W into our development. Then comes to the class and the quality. So I always refer to class and quality, and I look at Ritz-Carlton.
Okay. Very classy.
Very classy.
Yeah.
But so we've tried incorporating that. And obviously Ritz-Carlton, they're also very timeless.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So obviously that was our inspiration for the design for the interior. Right?
Okay.
So that's why we went, look, we're not looking for super chic. We're not looking for Mediterranean. We're looking for Indonesian, Asian, timeless design.
Yeah.
Right? But obviously make it modern.
That is like one of the most important factors when you want a sustainable investment, right?
Exactly.
Through the years, because we see so many new villas with designs that will unfortunately fade with time, because it's just like it just goes around and around.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's in now.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in 5 years, right?
Yeah,
so that's the thing. So that's why we really focused on timeless design. But also at the same time, I mean, we were touring at some time with Japandi. So this is in Japanese, Scandinavian, wabi-sabi, and all of these things that are out in the market right now, and people are using these buzzwords. We wanted to use these buzzwords, right? But at the end of the day, obviously you can find different inspirations and different things of where you look, right?
In terms of design, I have to say that like the one place that came into my head was Aman Hotels, which for me is like, if you look at the new one in New York and Manhattan, it's like, I think for me, one of the top hotels in the world in terms of design. And it's really a sleek design that's timeless design that will always stay on top of the game, and that's what your development kind of made me think of.
And I'm glad you are saying that, not me.
Okay, good.
Because I didn't want to say that myself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because I get that. I've seen a man. I can't afford a man.
No, it's super expensive.
I've been there for lunches and dinners and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But obviously, I totally get that. The way we've used the wood, the way we've obviously infused the wood with the concrete walls, and the color scheme, obviously. So yes, obviously, like what I was saying earlier, you can see when you look at something, you can see similarities in different places, and that's exactly what we've done.
Okay.
And I think now that whole thing comes together. I mean, the exterior of the building is beautiful, with the greenery, and actually, it's a building that belongs in Bali.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Very nice.
That's what I think. But also at the same time, we've heard of so many different people saying, "Oh, this building, is so futuristic and stuff like that." We wanted to keep, obviously, our home in Bali to be close to Bali, right? So the design, the inspiration was obviously local trees, greenery, and the color schemes as well.
Yeah.
We didn't want to go too far away and start creating a villa or a house that looks like
disrupts the natural
the flow.
state, the flow of Bali.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And obviously with the location of where we are, we couldn't build an average building. We had to build a luxury residence to do the place justice, obviously, right?
And so we talked about the design, we talked about the team behind it, what you guys want to, like your idea of what you want to deliver. Let's talk maybe a bit more of the units themselves. You're selling 1-bedroom units. There are different levels, so there are different levels with different views. Some have sea view, some have a garden, some have a private pool.
And some have all.
Some have all, and of course, they're bigger and smaller units.
Absolutely.
And one really cool thing that if I had the money to do so, I would do it, is buy several that are communicating, because they're putting communicating doors, so you can actually rent it as 2 or 3 or 4 bedrooms, right?
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. So you said it rightly, right? So we've got a combination of 2 units. So we've got the studio, which starts at 65 square meters, 65 square meters.
So that's a big studio.
Well, in London, for example, 65 square meters is a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, of course.
And you'd pay.
But that's why you come to Bali, right?
Exactly.
Bigger spaces, bigger bathroom, nicer design.
This is the thing. So a studio is obviously designed more open plan. And obviously you'll see the pictures and the PDFs and the renders and so on anyway. And then we've got 2 types of studios. We've got the studios on the ground floor, which benefit from their own gardens. And a studio, on the first floor. And then the studios on the second and third floor, which have their own balcony, which overlooks obviously the sea or ocean, as we call it.
So you wake up, look from your bed, open the curtains, boom, ocean.
Exactly. Well, I'll look at it differently. You wake up, you go and make yourself a coffee, and then you go.
Or you have someone make your coffee, right? That's the whole point.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can order in rooms dining.
Yeah, of course. There you go.
Or if you're spending, time with a loved person, then you could do exactly that.
Exactly. Or make the coffee for them.
Or make the coffee for them. But then, there's the other side of it, coffee in bed or on the balcony. Where would you like it instead?
There you go.
So yeah, we can leave that to the imagination, obviously. So apart from obviously the studios, we've got the 1-beds. So 1-beds on the first floor have their own gardens and a pool. And
very nice.
And
so on top of the clubhouse pool and the rooftop pool, you have your own pool for if you want your own privacy time with whoever.
Exactly. Okay. And then one thing we've done is we've actually made the views, either whether it's to your garden or your pool or to the sea, from the bedrooms rather than the living room.
Okay, nice.
Right? Because we feel that people spend a lot of time obviously in their beds and in their bedroom, obviously, whether it's getting ready, whether it's sleeping, resting, or relaxing. And obviously for us it was very important that while you're waking up, and especially while you're in Bali, you wake up to the views of the sea, right? And obviously you're going to sleep with a view, obviously you're seeing the sunsets and stuff like that. So, but also at the same time, we've designed the bedroom doors in a way that they are opaque and transparent at the same time.
Okay.
Right? So you could still get the sea view into the living room from obviously the bedroom. And obviously you'll see that in the designs and the PDFs anyway. So that's something that we really wanted to focus on. So there's enough light.
Exactly.
And the reason why I'm explaining all of this is we've thought about this.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't just said, okay, the bedroom goes there
Yeah,
and the living room goes there.
It's
We've
really
obviously-
thought through.
Exactly. We've really thought about this. So, anyway, just going back to the original thing. So yeah, we've got 1 bedrooms on the ground floor with a pool and the garden, and then obviously as the higher you go, the better the view you get. Obviously, right? We've got obviously the corner units.
Yeah.
Which are slightly bigger because they've got the wraparound balcony, better view. And again, one thing we wanted to do was to create, obviously, residences which are adjoining. So I'm sure you've stayed in hotels which have like doors that are interconnected.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
That's what we did. So we've got 23 residences in total. 6 of them are studios, which can be joined to the 1 beds.
Yeah.
And they are at the corners of the buildings, basically, on each floor. And that way, if a family comes over. So we did that for 2 reasons. One is if somebody wanted, obviously, multiple residences, they could buy 2 units at the same time. But even if they don't, right, we encourage them to, obviously, right? Because it's, you can, your investment is split into 2. But the main reason is because we're going to operate this development as a 5-star resort, 5-star hotel, it's more for the return on investment.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So if a family comes over and the family has like 4 members, for example, right?
They can rent
mother
out
and
almost
father.
the whole floor.
Exactly.
Or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or they can obviously, if Dua Lipa comes over, for example,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
She can have the whole hotel if she wants.
Yeah. There you go.
But obviously, if a family comes over and they could have, 2 a studio and a 1 bed with an adjoining door in the middle, so they still have privacy and everything else. And also we can rent this out to obviously end customers who will come over and stay, and that will generate more revenue for the investors, for people who buy. And again, our building is multi-purpose. So somebody can obviously buy to live themselves, because obviously the 3 investors or 3 original founders will be living in the building ourselves. Right. So this is our home, right? And we are obviously doing everything as if this is our home in Bali. So we encourage obviously people to stay. The term I think a lot of people use is called owner occupier. But also, if they wanted to use as an investment vehicle, they could.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, I'm not going to go into too much detail about what the return on investments are in Bali and stuff like that. You know better than I do.
And guys, very important to ask the right person to make you return on investment simulation, because there's a lot of information that goes out there that don't consider all of the costs, that are fictive numbers and only theoretical based on imagination. So really important when you need some information to contact the right people like us at Bali Exception for that.
Great. I mean, obviously, that's what I was saying. You guys know this better than anyone else. And Matt, I think we met through another friend, right?
Yeah, we did.
We met through Charles.
Yeah, Charles.
And I can't even remember how we met. I honestly don't know.
Network, man.
I know. And then obviously one thing led to another, and now we're sitting on the yellow couch.
There you go. And you talked about management. So can you tell us maybe a little more on who's going to do the management, or how are you going to guarantee that 5-star luxury and management? Right.
So right now we're in discussions with 3 major hotel operators. Around the world, not just in Indonesia. Right? I can't really say much because obviously right now we're negotiating the terms of the deals and stuff like that. But it is going to be managed by a leading brand in the world. Right.
And if you are a big hotel brand manager, then maybe you should come in contact with us, because this project is going to be a chance for you, if you're not present in Bali or Indonesia, to get your foot in the door, get into the market on a premium plus property.
Or if you're already operating in Bali and Indonesia,
too, of course,
and you want to expand your operations, please contact Matt.
There you go.
And he'll put you in touch with us. So obviously our plan in the future is not just Bali. Obviously, we've acquired a piece of land in Lombok. So we'll be creating another development called Address Lombok. We are also acquiring a piece of land in Ibiza
Yeah.
this year, later on this year.
Very nice.
And that'll be Address Ibiza.
Yeah.
And then we've got a roadmap for another 4 years to have a very similar development in London called Address London as well. That's obviously the future plans.
Okay.
And then one of the things that we're obviously considering is the investors or the residents of the building could go between different properties.
Okay, so that kind of like a Soho house kind of vibe where you can actually access to all the different residences.
Exactly. But
Okay.
Soho House, obviously, so I'm a member of Soho House, right?
Okay.
I think I told you this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you did, you
I
did.
applied for a membership like 2 days before my birthday.
Yeah.
And on the day of my birthday, I got the membership.
Happy birthday.
So obviously, you know, they must have known, or
Yeah.
I don't know, like it's a privilege, obviously,
Yeah.
to have Soho House membership. But obviously, you have to pay
Yeah.
for the Soho House membership, and all you get is basically access to the properties to use, but you cannot obviously stay there.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about is if you invest in one of our properties, you could go to the second property or the third property or the
Yeah.
fourth property and spend time there. Obviously, provided that the property is rented out and there's enough credits built up for you to be able to do that. But obviously, that's something we can discuss obviously afterwards.
Yeah.
But that's more of our 4-year roadmap rather than obviously right now. But like I said, that's where we see ourselves. That's where we, apart from the quality, apart from the luxury. I mean, you've been on site yesterday, I think
Yeah.
it was. You've already seen our retaining walls, which are like
Yeah.
1.5
Massive.
meters
Yeah,
wide,
massive,
and also like
More than needed, but I'm from Switzerland, so I like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, some of the stuff we're going overboard with, and obviously some of the stuff that we absolutely don't want to compromise on.
Yeah.
We've got a rooftop pool. We
Yeah.
need a structure to maintain that rooftop
Yeah.
pool.
Yep.
So obviously, it needs to have enough steel,
It can be
enough
tricky.
iron.
It can be tricky.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we're doing. But also, apart from that, what we don't want to do is, actually, what we want to do is to deliver obviously quality, not just through the building, but also through the services.
Yeah, of
right.
course.
So
Super important.
Exactly. So the staff, obviously, will pick the best staff who worked in high-end resorts around the world to obviously service the guests.
Yeah.
So that's where we see ourselves,
Okay.
and that's where. And again, I think service is number one.
Yeah.
And key. Obviously, building, I'm sure people can build.
Yeah.
But then it's actually the service and providing the services along with amenities. I mean, one of the things I haven't discussed yet is, so at the entrance of the building, we will have a lobby,
Yeah.
right? And from the lobby, you'll get access to a Japanese tea garden.
Okay. Very
right?
nice.
So that's another
It's kind of the welcoming
exactly
part of
exactly. And
It's an experience you're selling, basically. Like any good hotel, you're selling an experience.
absolutely. And again, we could have created more units or more residences, but really it's about having more space for people to go and relax, obviously.
Okay.
And then the tea garden is literally what it will be. It'll be a Japanese tea garden.
Yeah.
It'll be a Zen place where people can go and reflect, have some tea, relax, and again, it'll be connected to the lobby.
Yeah.
So that's something we're creating. Obviously, we'll have a valet parking service and various other things. Obviously, I mean the list is so big. But again, to be able to manage and operate this, we will need people as well who are obviously trained or experienced in delivering luxury.
Yeah. Of course.
And that's more on the operational side. So the reason why I'm mentioning all of this is we have tried to think about everything we can from our experiences and build that into this development, basically, and learn from other people's mistakes. I mean, our construction partner, Ade Bali, they've already built multiple residences in Bali, multi apartment buildings, hospitals, and so on, right? And actually, I got recommended to Ade Bali through another friend of mine.
Okay.
Who is selling another development, and he said, "Look, please use Ade because he's done a very good job for me."
Yeah.
So it came from recommendation, and also, I mean, from the initial conception, to start in the construction. It's taken us 2 years.
Yeah.
So we've really taken our time on planning, on fine-tuning.
Yeah,
different
carefully
things.
finding the good team to launch.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, and to build and then to launch, and that's how I ended up at Bali Exception as well.
There you go. There you go. Well, do you have anything else to add to just to? Otherwise, I'll summarize quickly.
No, please do. I mean, I think we've said everything, right?
Yeah.
More than we should have done.
I think. Well, it's good. We have a lot to say. I mean, this
course.
has a lot to offer. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a seafront or sea view, sea view apartment building, luxury, high end with great service, amazing services, good great management company behind, and with a team behind it that's really thought through each of the steps of the process, from conceptualizing to building to acquiring the right teams behind it, then this is the project for you. We're available if you have any questions, or if you're interested, just let us know.
Cool.
Thank
you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Fais.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.